and Vivien ever sought to work the charm upon the great enchanter of the time, as fancying that her glory would be great according to his greatness, whom she quenched. There lay she all her length, and kissed his feet, as if in deepest reverence and in love. A twist of gold was round her hair, a robe of samite without price, that more expressed than hid her, clung about her lissom limbs, in colour like the satin shining palm on sallows in the windy gleams of March. And while she kissed them, crying, "Trample me, dear feet, that I have followed through the world, and I will pay you worship. Tread me down, and I will kiss you for it." He was mute. So dark a forethought rolled about his brain, as on a dull day in an ocean cave the blind wave feeling round his long sea hall in silence. Wherefore, when she lifted up a face of sad appeal, and spake, and said, "O Merlin, do ye love me?" And again, "O Merlin, do ye love me?" And once more, "Great Master, do ye love me?" He was mute. And lissom Vivien, holding by his heel, writhed toward him, slided up his knee, and sat behind his ankle, twined her hollow feet together, curved an arm about his neck, clung like a snake. And letting her left hand droop from his mighty shoulder, as a leaf, made with her right a comb of pearl to part the lists of such a beard as youth gone out had left in ashes. Then he spoke and said, not looking at her, "Who are wise in love, love most, say least." And Vivien answered quick, "I saw the little elf god eyeless once in Arthur's arras hall at Camelot, but neither eyes nor tongue, O stupid child. Yet you are wise who say it. Let me think silence is wisdom. I am silent then, and ask no kiss." Then adding all at once, "And lo, I clothe myself with wisdom," drew the vast and shaggy mantle of his beard across her neck and bosom to her knee, and called herself a gilded summer fly, caught in a great old tyrant spider's web, who meant to eat her up in that wild wood without one word. So Vivien called herself, but rather seemed a lovely baleful star veiled in grey vapour, till he sadly smiled. "To what request, for what strange boon," he said, "are these your pretty tricks and fooleries, O Vivien, the preamble? Yet my thanks, for these have broken up my melancholy." And Vivien answered, smiling saucily, "What, O my master, have ye found your voice? I bid the stranger welcome thanks at last, but yesterday you never opened lip, except indeed to drink. No cup had we, in mine own lady palms I culled the spring that gathered trickling drop-wise from the cleft, and made a pretty cup of both my hands, and offered you it kneeling. Then you drank, and knew no more, nor gave me one poor word. Oh, no more thanks than might a goat have given, with no more sign of reverence than a beard. And when we halted at that other well, and I was faint to swooning, and you lay foot gilt with all the blossom dust of those deep meadows we had traversed, did you know that Vivien bathed your feet before her own? And yet no thanks. And all through this wild wood, and all this morning, when I fondled you, boon, aye, there was a boon, one not so strange. How had I wronged you? Surely ye are wise, but such a silence is more wise than kind." And Merlin locked his hand in hers and said, "Oh, did ye never lie upon the shore and watch the curled white of the coming wave glassed in the slippery sand before it breaks? E'en such a wave, but not so pleasurable, dark in the glass of some presageful mood, had I for 3 days seen, ready to fall. And then I rose and fled from Arthur's court to break the mood. You followed me unasked, and when I looked and saw you following still, my mind involved yourself the nearest thing in that mind mist. For shall I tell you truth? You seemed that wave about to break upon me and sweep me from my hold upon the world, my use and name and fame. Your pardon, child, your pretty sports have brightened all again, and ask your boon, for boon I owe you thrice, once for wrong done you by confusion, next for thanks it seems till now neglected, last for these your dainty gambols. Wherefore ask, and take this boon so strange and not so strange."